for every video. What did you like about this video? What did you not? On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the audio quality of this video?
Brian, thanks, Tom, for being really open-minded about this. There's a lot of reasons why people may choose to dislike or like a video. We don't know, and we don't have to judge others for their opinions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom, for being really open-minded about this.
I want to express my opinions, but know that it is my opinion and not the objective fact.
When world will be all like...
Happy Thursday. How's it going, guys? How is everyone? Wanted to say welcome back to the live stream. Wanted to figure this all out. Yeah, how you guys doing? Jassim, I see that you're here. Roger, getting some feedback. Give me 1 second. There you go. Hello. Happy Thursday. Yeah, I was listening to Tom and Heather. If you guys were checking out their stream, it was a very interesting conversation about the dislike button. So if you guys are coming from there, hello. Oh, still echo. Give me a second. That should be better. All right. So I updated to the new eCam. They have some pretty cool features. So I want to test it out. I was able to get my color grade in, so that's pretty cool. I think I have it on both cameras. I don't know why it's not showing up on the other one, but give me a second. But yeah. So how you guys doing? You guys have a great couple of weeks. I know that I didn't do a live stream for a couple of weeks, and I didn't post a couple videos. I missed a week. Was actually quite busy doing a whole bunch of work, trying to catch up on a few deliveries. So Roger, I want to thank you personally for reaching out and saying, is everything okay? That was actually really nice. It motivated me enough to finish the latest video that I had and post it, because I try to bulk film and have them kind of in the can, and then I can edit them in between renders or late at night or whatnot. But it just wasn't, didn't have the time. Just got beat up with work and life in terms of just being tired by the end of the night, and just wanted to rest and watch some movies like Justice League, which actually happened last Thursday. So I made the choice. It's like, instead of going in and doing the live stream, figured everyone's going to be doing that anyway. So I just let it go and enjoyed the rest. But yeah, how is everyone? Oh, look at that. Thank you, Jasim. Chipping away at the check. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Keep them coming. All the super chats are always welcome. Oh, there you go. So yeah, I wanted to chat with you guys about a few things. Justine, thank you. No, seriously, thank you for that. That's pretty awesome. Hold on. Let's see. Let's just say hellos. So again, Sergio, hello. Hey, it's me. Avars, is that how you pronounce your name? I'm always a little bit wary on pronouncing names that I'm not 100% sure of. But hey, nice to see you. Again, Roger, like I said, yes, I was listening to Tom and Heather. A great discussion as always. Luis, hello. Going down the line. You need to share your name with me, because I only know you as the introvert amateur. You don't ever say it in your videos, so definitely ping me and let me know your name, because I feel like I should know. We chat a lot. So hello from Germany. So the couple things that I want to chat with you guys about this week is, one, the main theme of this topic. It's going to be what 90% of photography is. So I'm going to get into that in a second. Just give me 1 second. Just want to make sure that I'm all set up here properly. Boop. Why isn't, oops. That's all good. Yeah, that seems to be okay. Brightness, I'll count it down. There you go. So I have a second. It's a bit hot. There you go. All right. So the second thing I want to chat with you, the more important thing, it's concerning these live streams. This is the announcement that I want to make, and it's a little bit off topic what we're talking about, but I want to talk about live streams. And I initially set up these live streams to practice my on-camera presence in a live scenario, just talking in concise thoughts and sentences and trying to be coherent and being able to do that for longer stretches of time. Because I know that when I started doing my videos and they're curated, I'm able to edit them. I'm able to retake that. I just want to be able to have my brain-mouth connection a little bit stronger so I can think and talk and continue to do that whole thing. Because that's a whole skill that I want to develop. I want to get better at it. And the fact that I get to have these, as Jasim calls them, casual conversations with you guys, I want to do that a little bit more often. But I feel that on my channel, they feel like they're taking up a lot of space. If I was posting more videos and doing a live stream every once in a while, that would feel more natural. Like I want to make sure that my live streams are I'm able to continue doing them because I actually like doing the whole thing. I enjoy the whole process. I enjoy having these kind of conversations. So what I am doing, give me a second. What I am doing is I'm going to be moving these live streams to their own channel. There's a link in the description. If you guys want to be part of the live streams moving forward, I would appreciate and love the fact that you guys subscribe to that, because that's where majority of my live streams are going to happen from now on. I want to keep the main channel curated with high quality videos that just keep adding and building on that library. But then I want to have the live streams more casual. I had a nice long chat with Jassim yesterday about this specifically. And initially I was going to keep the live streams on the channel, but he made one comment that said, you know, the live streams are a great place to have these casual, relaxed conversations. And I was like, yeah, that's what I like about the live streams that I'm doing right now. But then that one line, that one comment just kept ringing in my head and resonating with me. And it felt like I want to do them more often. I want to have the ability to do a live stream once a week without clogging up the main channel with live streams between every other video that's posted. Because I feel that when people, because there's a lot of tutorials on my channel, and I want people to come there and then kind of, when they learn one thing, I want them to continue learning off of those videos if they find value in that. And if there's a lot of live streams in there, it's all going to get kind of mishmashed together. At least this is my thought. And I like having these casual conversations with you guys and kind of explore topics that are a little bit bigger and not necessarily as curated as the videos that are on my channel. And if a topic is really good, then I can take that and put it onto my main channel as its own dedicated video, as one big thought that's a little bit expanded, do more research on it, do something that is more concise and just a really solid thought, like the essay versus the rehearsal of it. It's a way for me to continue practicing, because I don't want to have everyone watch the practice as I do it, but I want to get better at it. I will still do live streams on the main channel, but I'm going to reserve those for big events or big topics, or, like special guests that come on, or milestones. Like, really have it just dedicated to those bigger events. So you'll know when a video is on my main channel or a live stream is on my main channel, that it's going to be a big deal. But here it's just, let's hang out, let's have a conversation and talk about all the cool stuff that is coming down the pipe. That's really what I want to do. And that's the whole purpose on moving it over, because it's not about growing the channel with the live streams. It's just being able to connect with the people that are already there. And that's what I love about this. Like, everybody that I know that's in the chat right now, I've spoken with you guys directly and had multiple conversations. And so I want to continue that. And I want to have an outlet to talk about bigger ideas and say, hey, this is what I think about this. And this is what I like about the whole aspect of it. So let's just see. Roger, thank you. The introvert amateur, thank you. Luis, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. That's really what I'm trying to accomplish here, is just having a place where have longer expanded thoughts. And I know that I want to incorporate Clubhouse into this as well, where we can have longer conversations and I can bring some of you guys into it and just have it. But I want this to be more of a video podcast site that is just dedicated to sharing thoughts with you guys and having you part of the conversation, because I love this kind of practice, but also at the same time, the conversations that come from it. So if you guys want to be part of these kind of live streams, podcasts, and stuff like that, subscribe to the other channel, and then I'll only bug you from there with the live streams, unless it's a really big pretty cool thing moving down the line. So with that, 1 second. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to move over. Go back to the wide shot. Let me know if there is... am I echoing? Let me know if I'm echoing. Fabio, hello from Portugal. Nice to see you. Yeah, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to have a... oops. What's happening here? It's doing it again. Oh. Give me 1 second. All right. I'll just leave it as is. Let me know how this sounds. Does this sound better? I'm still trying to figure out the new system. You should be hearing a little bit of music plus me. If the music is too loud, let me know. Again, this is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. I think he provides really great value for people that want to stream but have some pretty dope music. It's very interesting. All right, let's see what's live. Okay, so that's live. We're good to go. All right. Basha, hello. Sam, hello from Sweden. Nice to see you guys here. And so, again, moving the whole thing over, the live streams over to a dedicated channel. I really went back and forth on it. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I know that I've already built a great community there, but at the same time, the kind of conversations I want to have are a little bit stretching the bounds of what the channel is. And I know that when people come to the channel to watch the videos for a tutorial or something like that, there's always that hesitation when everything is being placed onto the main channel. Let's see, is that better? All right. Music was a bit loud, maybe. Thank you, Sam. So, today's topic is going to be the last just kind of casual conversation live stream that is going to be on this main channel. So again, the link for the new channel is in the description for anyone that's watching the replay down the road. So today, let's talk about 90% of photography is what? 90% of photography is being at the right place at the right time. And I'm going to expand on that thought quite a bit because I know that it's a loaded statement, but 90% of photography is being at the right place at the right time. And I have some examples that I want to talk about. And it really applies if you're doing landscape photography. So I want to talk about how it's such a key element. Give me 1 second. Just want to bring up. So, yeah, being at the right place at the right time. And this is something that for the longest time I had. Actually, I'm going to bring it up now. Give me 1 second. So I have this and then go to here. Okay. Oops. So I had this. Wow, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. That is... Well, Phil, thank you for that clarification. And again, it's all the conversations that you and I have had. I appreciate them. It's always great. And I'm always snooping on your channel, checking out your videos as you post them. All right. So what I want to talk about... What I want to talk about is how, especially with landscape photography, all the examples here are landscape because I want to illustrate the fact really, really concisely and right to the moment. Being at the right place at the right time is going to get you shots that are going to make you happy that you grabbed the camera and you took it with you. And there's so many times that, and I don't know if it's happened to you. Let me know in the comments or in the chat if it's happened to you where you're just out and about, just doing your daily anything, and it's that golden hour, that moment in the day, and you're like, I wish I had my camera with me because the light is perfect, and you're like, right from this spot right here, I wish I had my camera so I can just capture this moment. And I always had this. I always wish that I had this superpower to be able to capture what not just what I see, but how I would capture it with a camera. I wish I was able to snap that photo the way I see it, not the way I physically see it, but the way I see it being captured, the way I would have my camera set up, the lens that I would be using for that, and just capturing that perfect cropped moment in the focal length. I wish I had that superpower to do that, and because that's the being in the right place at the right time. I've had that all the time, because once you start taking photos and you start thinking like a photographer, you start seeing the world through a lens, like your own personal lens. And you don't see it just like the widescape. Like you'll see that moment in time, the way the light is coming and bouncing off the people, and you just wish you had the camera with you. So 90% is just being in the right place at the right time. The other 10%, which is almost equally as important as that other 90%, is knowing what to do when you get there. That's where the mechanics of photography comes into play. That's where knowing artistic compositions and angles and what side of the light to be on. That's where all that learned skill comes into place, so you can capture. So it'll allow you to capture that when you're at the right place at the right time. And again, this is something that is so crucial for landscape photography. Like, there's no way you can recreate a moment like this. It's just the fog is there, just being at the right place at the right time. You can also help yourself to be at the right place at the right time just by knowing where your environment, knowing that early in the morning, once the sun hits the like a coal forest, the fog is going to lift, and you're going to have those kind of beautiful moments. Again, same thing like this, where it's like knowing to be there, that the sun is going to be coming from that angle, or even deciding to take a walk on through the forest to be able to get those kind of moments. But you have to be there. You have to get up. You can't be at the right place at the right time binging on a Netflix show. Though maybe sometimes watching a Netflix show is the right thing to do, because you just need to rest. That's so moving forward, again, like the golden hour, but then just being there and having that moment and having the camera with you. Like, these are moments that you can't necessarily go out and be like, okay, I'm going to sit here for 8 hours and wait. Even though some Dermot from Dermot O'Donovan, who is like one of my favorite Irish landscape photographers. I was on his show, on his channel, like a couple weeks back, and he literally, for him, it seems like he lives in a magical fantasy world. It's just, and he goes out on these adventures to find the right moment. And he actually says that so many times he finds himself just sitting around waiting for the sun and the light to get into the right place. But he's in the right place at the right time, even though he got there early. Sometimes he spends the night. So again, same thing. It's like, this is one of those moments where you just happen to be there, and you look and you're like, I need to capture this. So this is why, I'm so glad that even iPhones have the ability to capture those moments. But there's something about really big glass and full frame lenses that I personally love, that help really capture the moment a little bit more like reality, but in a fantasy way, where it's like, I don't want to just capture an image where it looks like real life. I want to capture an image as though the way I saw it, and being at the right place at the right time. and then knowing what to do when you get there is so powerful. And that's why I practice every day. That's why having your camera with you is such a powerful thing that it's just practice, because you never want to be in a situation where like, ooh, this is the perfect shot. This is the shot that is going to be on my wall for, the next 10 years and I'm going to love it. By practicing and knowing the mechanics of photography, and then combining it with the artistic composition and the skills and the kind of shooting style that you want to do, the kind of photography that you want to do, this is what is really, this is the thing that I love about photography the most, is having those moments where it's like, if I didn't know how to use the camera and I didn't understand all this stuff because of all the practice and the training that I got with it, I would have missed that moment. And that's what I was talking about earlier, where having those moments but not having your camera, that's the worst, because I can see all those moments where I would have loved to take the photo. I have them here, but there's no way I can get them out to express them and show you guys. I didn't have my camera with me. Only me. I can try to paint it, but I'm not a good painter, and that's not a skill that I want to learn. But there's so many moments that like even just these weird moments where driving home and you're like stuck in traffic, but then the traffic is moving slowly and the light is coming through underneath the tunnel, and it's just this amazing photo that only lives here, only lives there. So, they say that a camera is the best camera is the camera that you have with you. And it's true to capture a moment, but to capture a feeling and recreate that feeling the way it made you feel, I think that's where photography can take people. It can transport them and share those concepts and those ideas. And we have Tom Buck, everybody, in the audience. So, Tom, you missed the opening half, and I'm going to share, briefly talk about what I'm moving my entire live stream over to a dedicated live stream channel, because I want to have more of these casual conversations without having too many live streams on the main channel, because I want that to be dedicated to what I'm trying to build there. So that's a slight recap. So if you want to be part of those live streams in the future, subscribe and like and all that fun stuff. All right, where was I? All right, so I'm jumping back to the scene. Here we go. Bam. I'm really liking this new update where they give you a preview. You can preset everything up and then hit publish and it goes live. I think that is fantastic. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you guys understand what I'm actually trying to communicate with what I'm saying here? Does that make sense? That makes sense. Is that something that you guys understand what I'm trying to get at? Have you guys had those moments? Have you had those missed moments where you were at the right place at the right time, looking at a beautiful photo, and it literally just goes by? And it's that once in a lifetime opportunity that photo that would have been like, oh, that would have been that moment. So I don't know why. Oh, there we go. That's interesting. That's interesting that it's working that way. All right. So again, there is a mechanic. The knowing how to use the camera is something that is very important. And I know that Jasim, that you and I had talk about that. And yeah, it's about preparing for those moments and knowing what to do when you get there. 90% is showing up. The other 10% is knowing what to do when you get there. And that 10% is actually very, very valuable in what, which makes you more excited about going and doing photography more. Like I said, Jasim, you and I had talked about that previously. And we talked about specifically how even when you're prepping a shoot, because Jassim professionally does wedding videos. So for him, he knows that throughout the day, it's all curated. The entire day is kind of pre-planned, and these things are going to happen. The bride and groom are going to get ready. They're going to arrive at the church. There's going to be a reception. There's going to be that photos moment. But then there's all those moments in between that happen at those locations that are going to be vital to tell the complete story. And you have to be ready for those moments. And sometimes they happen so quickly, especially in those kind of environments. But even on a photo shoot where you have lighting set up, where you have all, makeup and everything is happening in that one moment, you still need to know where to be at the right place at the right time. You need to know which side of the camera or which side of the light to be on, and what the model is going to do for you. Like, having all that really comes down to knowing how to even set up those kind of moments. Photography is just, it's an amazing art. Sorry, I got distracted by a comment here. So Roger, oh, that's interesting. So if you guys are going to update to Ecamm Live, just know that if you're using the preview mode, when you add a comment to your broadcast, it won't go until you publish it. That's interesting. And then it goes away. All right, that's good to know. So you have to click the button twice, unless I get out of, I'll just go to, oops. So that's interesting. Anyways, that's a side note on people that are interested in Ecamm Live. So yeah, photography is one of the things that I've always come back to. When I first got my hands on a camera, I really was just enamored and really excited about compositions and seeing through that proscenium that is the frame, and really choosing what to show other people. I just became so excited about the whole aspect of it. And it wasn't until I started carrying my camera with me every single day on my daily carry, just having it with me, to the point where, this is before even Instagram, where people are like, why are you bringing your camera? Why do you have your camera with you all the time? It's just like, I just was so excited about it. And just moving forward and just grabbing so many shots and just getting excited about having the camera with me for those opportunities. Because once you have that opportunity and you capture that moment, just being at the right place, and you know what to do, what your fingers just automatically do, that muscle memory, that's the one thing that I really find the most exciting part of photography. What do you guys like about photography most? Like, what is the thing that gets you excited to pick up the camera day in, day out, and just keep doing that thing? Because it does take a lot of work to get good at it. It does take a lot of work to get to the point where you're happy and you understand, and you're getting shots that you're really happy and satisfied with going down the road. Like, what are the things that keep you coming back to picking up a lens, putting it on the camera, knowing the settings that you are most comfortable with, that are going to get you the shots that you like? Because everyone has their shooting style. Everyone has their lens that they love and they go back to. Someone asked me the other day, what lens would I have on my camera if I can only have one lens? I think it was Luis. I think it was you. We asked, like, what? No, it was on Twitter. We had a conversation on there. Someone asked, like, what would be the lens if it was mounted on and you couldn't take it off? What would be that one lens? And my initial thought was, well, the 50-1.2. But then quickly I was like, but if I had only one lens to be on my camera, the lens that I would choose would be the 24-70 2.8. Now it's wide enough, but also has a long enough telephoto that it will allow me to get 90% of those shots when I'm in the right place at the right time. I don't need super crazy bokeh for every single shot, because sometimes you want to take a nice wide shot, but the 70 millimeter will still give you a really good portrait shot with some really great depth of field. Just understanding that. So it would have to be full frame though. I would definitely go with full frame, just the way the optics works on those lenses. So unless it was an equivalent. Let's see. Hold on. Gonna check some comments. So Basha said, those moments are good to keep private sometimes. Yes, absolutely. If you start grabbing your camera, you may miss the magic. How do you capture both? That's a good question. That is interesting. I think that's why for the longest time I put my camera down, because I felt like I wasn't being present in the moment. I was trying to capture a moment, which, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So putting the camera down actually helped me just be in the moment. But then there's so many moments that went by, and the only camera that you do have is the iPhone. And those are the private moments. Those are the moments that only really mean something to me and the family, if that makes sense. But there's the other ones where it's like, that's the one that you would put onto Instagram, that you would be proud to show as like, hey, I happened to be here when this happened live, and this is how it unfolded in front of everybody. Going down the line. So Jasim says, get to the location and sit and wait. Once I have the photo, I enjoy it. Yeah, that's like I was saying, that's what Dermot does. He goes to the location and enjoys the experience of being there while he captures. He also does a whole bunch of other stuff. He does time lapse. He does drone shots. He fills his day and he captures everything because the locations are just spectacular. So Luis says, yes, I love my Sony APS-C cameras because it allows me to carry them just about anywhere. Yeah, and that's why I like the Canon EOS R, because it is still a full-frame camera, but it's so compact. And it allows me to do a lot of other stuff. But it's still full-frame, which allowed me to continue using all the glass that I had. So it kind of goes back to the original conversation. Always build on the kit that you're working with. It'll save you money down the long run. So if you know the kind of kit you're going to build that you want to have, start there. So Roger says, he's not, oh, cancel. So I'm going to publish and go back to live. All right. So that should sync up now. Okay. So Roger says, had that missed moment today walking the dog in the forest behind the house. Had an iPhone with me, but it just, let's just finish that. But it just doesn't become as good as the dedicated mirrorless camera. Yeah, absolutely. I know that I have plenty of family photos of my kids and little videos that I caught with only the iPhone camera. And I love them because they're meaningful to me. But as in terms of like artistic or the technical aspect of it, they wouldn't classify. They're family photos. Like there is a very specific niche of photography that is just personal family photos that have that nostalgia, sentimental value to you, which will always be great to you and your family. But there's that artistic side where it's just like, when you start making stuff that you want to show to other people, it has to evoke an emotion for them. When you have your family photos, the emotion that is evoked within you is nostalgia and love and, something that is very meaningful to you. But other people don't experience that. That's why when people show pictures of their kids and whatnot to other people, they're like, yeah, that's really cute, but it doesn't have that overwhelming feeling that you would get if you're looking at your own family photos. But when you have those other moments where, just like in the example that I was showing, like these are moments. Oh, one second. These are moments that are universal, and that's where photography can kind of come in and get those moments. Like this is that calm moment. This is that peaceful moment where it's just like being there, you know what that would feel like because you've experienced those kind of moments as well, but it's not attached to a personification or a person of that isn't someone that you don't know. A tree is a tree, which you can have that feeling, right? And again, like we've all experienced these kind of moments of the fog, and it's just like when the light comes through, or at night when the fog comes through, like we all experience that, so we can relate to those kind of moments. And I think that's where photography can be really powerful to communicate on that emotional level. And it's always about trying to tell a story in a still frame. Like looking at this, I have that feeling of going for that walk and being in that place, and like you can almost feel the dampness a little bit, but you can also hear the sounds, and it builds that story in just a 2D representation, which I think it's very, very powerful. So, and the same thing can happen with moving images and building a story through one image that follows another, and then the story unfolds as it's going. Like these are all amazing, powerful communication tools that we have at our disposal that we're using every single day. So you agree with Roger? I use it and get upset when I see the images on my phone because it reminds me of what I missed. Yes, absolutely. That's what I was talking about earlier, where when I didn't even have that phone on me, where I didn't have that camera, and it's here, and I see that moment that just is gone, but only for me. So Phil saying I had it both ways, what you just described, but also the other way around, not feeling the shot, but taking it anyways, and days later being lucky that you did. Yes, absolutely. The same thing can happen in the reverse, where you have that moment and you're like, it doesn't matter. Always take the shot. Because if it works out, then you double win. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't matter. At least you had that moment. And not only did you take that moment, you also had the opportunity to practice. Because when that moment does arrive, and it always does for anyone that has a camera on them, you'll know what to do. Again, 90% is being at the right place at the right time. The other 10% is knowing what to do when you get there, when you're in that moment. And I agree with Phil. You need to hit the like button. So I've learned not to stress the missed moments. Just take the mental picture and be prepared for the next one. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying, where I have those moments and I alone am able to enjoy them. But the part that I don't get stressed about it. I'm just like, I wish I could show somebody that thing that I saw. And I think that's why I really got into the filmmaking part of it, or taking photos in a studio, because there's so many times I want to recreate the thing that I see, and I can use the camera to help recreate that feeling. And that's why I thrive in the environment, to tell stories visually using either stills or moving images. So that's the tagline for my company, Moving Images Company. It's just like I love doing this. Like I literally turned my hobby into my profession, and I've been doing mostly things with moving pictures since I was about 12. Professionally, since I was about 22. Once I got out of university. So referring to missed moments in terms of personal photography, when I see light that just looks delicious, that excites me. Yes. Yeah, same thing. It's even if I will always try to even capture it even with my iPhone, but I know it does not represent the way I would have liked to capture it had I had my camera with the right lens on it. And just the way the bigger sensor will pick up those moments. I also like being able to capture the video. I think it's because the iPhone, especially I'm still using the iPhone 10, so it's almost a 4-year-old camera phone. I use it for personal moments. I use it for that. Like I love having that with me because my kids always are doing the funnest things, and it's like I love capturing those moments because I know they're going to be for me. But when I the way these cameras are here, they don't feel like they're true to life representations. Like, even though it says it's a 50 mil, it doesn't capture the image the way a 50 mil does. And I don't know if it's just because the sensor is so small and they're trying to emulate it and make it process like that. I'm just not too excited with iPhone photography as something that I would use for those moments. I love that I can do it, and you can do so much with these tools today. So if you only have an iPhone, you can do amazing things. But I've been spoiled to what the bigger cameras can do and how I can use them. I know how to use them. I know that I can get what I imagine out of them. So I'm still working on those 10% to get good in shooting already, carry camera around most of the time. That's great. And you're a man of many skills. So the fact that you're working on getting better at photography, it's just I already think you're doing a pretty damn good job at it. So I'm excited to see when you consider yourself to be good. So take the shot and your memory can fill in the magic in Lightroom. Yeah. Oh, so many times I've taken a shot, literally looked at it on the back of the camera. I was like, meh. And then I would bring it in and like open it up for the first time and just be like, meh, it's just like, no. But then just start playing with the sliders and this beautiful image emerges from just developing the photo. And a lot of times I can see that. I know what the image is going to look like because I'm so used to looking at the raw or log or the flat profile that when I get into post-processing, I already know what it's going to look like. But there are times where that magic has happened because I didn't think that there was anything there until you boost the contrast, until you kind of tweak the highlights and just shift the color just a little bit. And then this beautiful image just appears in front of you on the screen. And you just sit there like, huh. This is going back to Phil's comment where you don't know what you have until you spend a moment with it and then you develop it. So yeah, I completely agree with that. So Jasima is saying, with the iPhone, I don't feel bad for leaving my camera at home, waterproof, 4K, slow-mo, and telephoto lens. Well, yeah, but you have the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the best of the best right now. So I can't relate because I haven't personally played around with that camera. But yeah, you have gotten some amazing footage and details from that thing. So I'm actually excited to see what you do in your series with the iPhone stuff moving forward. And if you guys haven't checked out Jasim's channel, he's literally the definition of rise and grind, but he's also genuinely a great dude. Like he's like, I wrote this down before, but it's like, he's like, go check him out. Go check out his channel. He is like, go learn something, but then stay for the laughs. Like he's one of the guys that I follow and am excited to see where he goes with his channel and his videos. So make sure you guys check him out. So yeah, kind of, I feel like I'm going around in circles, but I'm more excited about what's coming. So you went from the 10S to the 12, the camera. Oh, okay. So this is the kind of thing that I've been thinking about, like, should I upgrade the phone? Because I don't use any of those specialty apps. I don't use the Filmic Pro app. I don't use anything too crazy with it. I literally use the default camera app because it's those moments where I can push one button, it opens up the camera app, and I'm capturing right away. I know that what Apple does in their standard camera app and the way they capture I know it'll be exposed as best as possible, and I'll capture it. Like I love that I'm on and in the moment capturing it, especially when I'm doing stuff with my family and my kids are doing something that I'm able to just quickly turn it on and I'm capturing that moment because I know I'll get there quickly. I tried to use the Filmic app Pro, the the Filmic app, and I tried to use the log footage, but it's not really log footage. It's an emulation of the log footage, and I was never able to really get the colors to be right. And I felt that I was spending more time trying to dial in the settings than trying to capture the moment. Like I wouldn't use the iPhone. Like I would never show up on set with an iPhone for a paying client. I wouldn't use it for that. But I know that Apple does a really good job to capture with the auto white balance, and they capture really good images and overall. So I'm excited about the wider camera, because there were so many times I wish that the camera on the 10X was a little bit wider. So maybe this year when they come out with the 13 or whatever they call it, and we'll see what they do. I know there's going to be a little bit of camera improvements, and the software is going to be a little bit better. I always like that the front facing and the back, like there are apps that can do that. Like I think I'll use that a lot, where I can capture what my kids are doing, but also get my reaction to it. So I have that moment. I like that aspect of it. So Jashima saying that's a huge upgrade. Yeah. Are you enjoying the Pro Max? Yep. Well, fine. You guys are convincing me to get the next phone. I'll wait until September. Maybe I'll treat myself this Christmas and get the iPhone, the next iPhone, and the Apple Watch. I'm actually excited about that. Oh, and Jasim actually said that if you have an Apple Watch, you can actually preview on your Apple Watch what the phone is showing you, which I think is pretty awesome, because then you can set it up remotely. You can see if you're framed up right, and then you can talk to the camera to do kind of vlogging stuff, which I think is pretty good. So I feel comfortable to include footage from the iPhone 12 Pro in vlog mixing with the OSR footage. You know what? You know how many videos that are on my channel I have used iPhone XS footage in? No one, I don't know if anyone noticed, but no one commented on it that it was worse than before. Like there are moments where I needed to capture B-roll of the EOS R, but I couldn't use my other camera, so I needed to use this to capture that. I've used it for behind the scenes stuff when all my other cameras are doing some amazing things. Like even the 12X main cameras can capture some really great footage as B-roll, as that secondary camera, as a secondary angle. You can actually use your iPhone to stream live. You can pipe it right into your main streaming server and use it. I think the iPhones are great cameras, and it's I'm excited to see what kind of comes down the pipe. So Roger said, I had high hopes for the camera for the 12 Pro Max, but I'm probably your hopes were a bit too high. Got a little disappointed, especially with the flares. That's interesting. I'd be interested to know more about that. What were the scenarios that gave you the pause with it? So yeah, using it for B-roll is I enjoy using it for B-roll. I know that it's always going to, I always capture it. Doesn't mean that I have to use it, but if you miss the moment, then you can't use it if you never get it. Always make sure you're drinking lots of water. So quality is only important to pixel peepers. Otherwise, as long as it doesn't look like it came from a Motorola. Hey, I had a Razer. Content editing will mask any degradation in quality and good sound. Good sound is key. Have you guys seen the latest Chris Howe video where he pitted the 12 megapixel A7S III versus the 108 megapixel Fuji camera, and he printed it out, and almost everybody got it wrong. The 12 megapixel photo actually looked better in every case. Like they couldn't tell the difference. Like he was really trying to drive the point home where it doesn't matter how many megapixels your camera has. If you know how to, that 10%. If you know that 10%, you're going to be able to get great photos and people won't know the difference. And especially since most large prints are printed at like 70 DPI, it's not really going to matter, like, because you're going to be standing further away. So currently, Phil is working on a blind test comparison for the 4K R6 versus the iPhone SE 2020. So it all depends on the lens you're going to be using. That's how majority of people will be able to tell. But in terms of quality, I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. But I am going to be interested in seeing that for sure too. So I have the iPhone 11. Hello, by the way, Ruckus TV. I have the iPhone 11 and love using the Pro take for vlogging with front and back camera. Yeah, that, like, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in exploring being able to capture two angles at once, especially for vlogging. If you're trying to communicate something like, oh, but then you can get your reaction at the same time. I think that is a key thing for vlogging moving forward, being able to do that as a crew of one. Unless you can have someone following you around with the camera. Yeah, so this is the Chris Howe video. That video was great. I thought it was fantastic. And it really kind of showed, how gear really doesn't matter. It's knowing what to do with the gear that you have. You can make it look fantastic. Yes, the bokeh does fail with the iPhone. The dynamic range kills it. The photo portrait mode is hit or miss. Absolutely. It's all computational photography. I'm excited about that, but I wish it was on a full frame lens. I would love to have access to computational photography on the EOS R. I hope that Canon and Sony are listening, and they will implement that kind of thing where you have the ability to dial in your settings, and every camera, the computer tries to develop the photo as quickly as possible for what it knows that you like. So you can kind of set in the dial in the settings, but then you have access to it in an app like Lightroom to go in and tweak it with all the versatility of a raw image. I'm excited about that because then it'll save 90% of the work that you need to do, and you'll be able to just accomplish what you're trying to get to a little bit faster, and even culling all the photos as you're going through the day, and being able to then just send that to your phone and upload it to a cloud, and then when your client is looking at it, I think that would be an amazing way to work moving forward, where you can get real-time feedback as like for like a wedding photographer, especially. You can, those photos can be uploaded. You can kind of like with one flick be like, yeah, you upload this one, and it'll automatically do that. And then the client can be downloading that night if they wanted to, just kind of like print it off, and like. That's what I get excited about when AI comes into photography and is doing some powerful stuff, and you're able to get to the end photo and see it kind of unravel, and that story told to you guys. So to kind of wrap it up today, I want to say again that this whole live stream thing is being moved over to that second channel, Raphael Ludwig Live, and that's being at the right place at the right time. So make sure that you guys subscribe to that if you want to be part of these. I love the fact that we can have these kind of conversations. And again, I want to incorporate Clubhouse because I want to include you guys in these conversations. I know that this is something that can expand and become a little bit better. I want to get the community kind of knowing each other, because everyone that's here has a very like-minded mindset as I do. So I want to make sure that you guys know each other and explore each other's stuff, because that's what this whole thing is about. That's why I get excited about doing all the live streams. But I want to make sure that the main channel has its dedicated focus, and just keep growing on that and expand on the live streams on the second channel. Just have bigger and better conversations. So thank you guys for hanging out with me on this fine Thursday, April 1st. No jokes. And I just want to make sure that if you haven't, hit the like button, subscribe to the other channel, and I'll probably, more than likely, see you next Thursday around the same time. Does 5 o'clock work well for you guys? Let me know in the chat. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy it. Whatever you guys are doing, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.